Ever get that feeling like all the pieces of your life are there, but the picture still feels, I don't know, incomplete?
Oh, definitely. It's a common feeling, I think.
Well, we've pulled together a really fascinating range of ideas to explore that very sensation today.
Indeed. We've taken a deep dive into some really thought-provoking material. We've got stuff from the Leone Center on our need to belong, very well. Mind on existential questions, Psych Central on feeling empty, Healthline with some practical grounding techniques, Greater Good Science Center, and Frontiers on meaning and purpose.
And even a Reddit discussion, which was really raw.
Yeah, very relatable.
So our goal today is to try and connect these different angles for you, our listener. We want to unpack, belonging, grappling with meaning, what emptiness might mean.
And hopefully offer some tangible ways to maybe cultivate more purpose and connection.
Exactly. Okay, let's dive right in with something really fundamental, our need to belong.
Yeah, the Leone Center really frames belonging as this deep, intrinsic human drive. It's vital for our mental, our emotional health.
It's more than just liking people, isn't it?
Absolutely. What's fascinating is their comparison to the natural world. Think about how trees thrive through interconnected roots or animal societies.
Like a lone wolf versus a pack.
Precisely. It suggests our well-being isn't just an individual thing. It's deeply tied into our social fabric.
That really makes you think, doesn't it? It's not just about being around people.
Yeah.
That difference between casual connection and true belonging, that feels important.
It is. And the Leone Center touches on how we balance our own sense of self within those connections, too.
How so?
Well, if we're always looking outside for validation, just constantly seeking approval.
You lose yourself a bit.
Exactly. Your own sense of self can get diluted, maybe leading to codependency. But then too little connection. That breeds isolation.
There's a balancing act.
It's finding that sweet spot, yeah. Valuing others' affirmation, but also trusting your own internal compass. It's delicate, and sometimes, we need help finding it.
Okay, here's something that really stood out to me. The Leone Center mentioned our brains react to social isolation almost like hunger.
Yeah. Isn't that powerful? It really underscores how fundamental this need is.
Wow.
Our neurology literally signals us when we're lacking essentials, and it seems social connection is right up there. Chronic loneliness isn't just a feeling. It has real physiological effects.
But it's not just any connection, right? They said superficial stuff isn't enough.
No, that's the key. It's that deeper sense of being truly seen, accepted. That's what nourishes us.
Okay, so when we do get that genuine belonging, what's the payoff? What does it actually do for us?
Well, according to the Leone Center, it's huge. A strong sense of belonging is like a bedrock for our well-being.
How specifically?
It shapes how we value our lives, strengthens our ability to handle tough times, fuels motivation, helps manage stress, builds resilience, even boosts physical health. It's foundational.
But what if things like, say, social anxiety make it hard to even build those connections? It sounds like a really tough cycle.
Oh, it absolutely can be. Social anxiety leads to avoidance, which limits opportunities for belonging, which then reinforces the anxiety. It's tricky.
So what can help break that cycle?
The Leone Center suggests things like mindfulness, maybe cognitive behavioral therapy, or just getting professional support. These can provide tools to navigate the anxiety and, gradually build connections.
Okay, so belonging is crucial, but what happens when we start questioning, everything, the meaning of life itself? That gets us into existential crises, which Very Well Mind explored.
Right. Very Well Mind describes an existential crisis as that deep unease when we grapple with meaning, choice, freedom, all the big stuff.
And it can make life feel pointless.
It can, yeah. Or lead to confusion about who you even are. These often pop up during big life changes or when security gets shaken up, moving, divorce, job loss.
Sounds pretty rough. But Very Well Mind also said it's not necessarily a bad thing from an existentialist.
That's right. For existentialists, this questioning is kind of essential. It's part of being human, aware of our freedom, and ultimately our mortality.
So it's about facing it head on.
Even if it's uncomfortable, yes. Confronting those fundamental truths.
So what might someone actually feel or go through during one of these crises? What are the signs?
Very well. Mind lists common things like more anxiety, maybe depression, feeling overwhelmed, isolated, lacking motivation.
Loneliness, worrying a lot.
Exactly. And they link these crises to major life events, career changes, losing someone, serious illness, hitting certain ages, trauma.
Even potentially positive things, like having kids or getting married.
Yeah, it's striking, isn't it? Both positive and negative upheavals can trigger this deep questioning.
Now, Very Well Mind broke down some key existential themes. Let's start with fear and responsibility. What's that about?
It really gets at the flip side of freedom. Because we can choose, we also carry the weight of responsibility for those choices.
Because there's no set path.
Right. No pre-written script. So we can get anxious about making the wrong choice, because who defines right? Existentialism suggests we're the authors of our own meaning, and that brings anxiety.
Wow, that sounds both incredibly empowering and kind of terrifying.
It can be both.
Okay, what about the big one? The meaning of life. How does a crisis stir things up there?
That's often front and center. The question, what's the point, can get really loud, especially when old routines or sources of purpose fall away.
Makes sense.
And Very Well Mind brings in Camus here, which is interesting. He suggested finding passion not in some grand end goal, but in the act of living itself, engaging fully now.
Like finding meaning in the doing.
Sort of, yeah. Finding value in the process, not just the outcome.
I like that. Okay, another theme. Authenticity. How does an existential crisis relate to that?
Well, when we really confront that our time is limited, it can sharpen our focus on what truly matters to us.
Cuts through the noise.
Exactly. Initially, it might spark anxiety, sure, but facing mortality can also strip away superficial concerns and push us towards living more genuinely, aligned with our deep values. Keeping up with the Joneses suddenly seems less important, maybe.
Right. And finally, Very Well Mind mentioned death and illness. No surprise that facing mortality directly triggers these questions.
Absolutely. Loss or a serious health scare. It forces us to confront our vulnerability, the preciousness of life. It's a direct encounter with mortality, and that often sparks profound questions about the life we're living.
These are definitely heavy topics. And it makes sense that alongside these big questions, people might just feel empty. Psych Central looked into that feeling.
Yeah, Psych Central describes feeling empty as surprisingly common. It could be sadness, melancholy, even just boredom.
But it feels real.
Oh, absolutely. They stress that the feeling, whatever it is real and valid. It might be temporary, might linger. And if it's persistent, professional support is a good idea.
What kind of things might cause someone to feel empty?
Psych Central mentions a whole range. It could be short-term stuff like hormones, job loss, physical distancing.
A pandemic effect.
Right, or deeper life reflection. They also note it can sometimes be linked to conditions like depression, bipolar disorder, PTSD, so checking with a professional if you're worried is wise.
They also talked about losing touch with yourself. What does that mean?
It's like a disconnect from your own core identity, your values, your goals, feeling like you're just drifting, unsure of who you are or what you really want. That lack of inner clarity can definitely feed.
And our past plays a role too.
For sure. Unresolved stuff, grief, trauma, old hurt can cast a long shadow. Psych Central really emphasizes processing those things, even if it's hard. Talking it through, maybe with a therapist, can be key.
It sounds like how we treat ourselves now matters a lot too.
Definitely. Neglecting your own needs, always putting others first,
Right.
that can drain you and lead to emptiness.
Like abandoning your own hopes.
Exactly. One therapist, they quote, said that leads to hollowness. And they also warn about social media comparisons. Constantly seeing curated lives can make you feel inadequate and empty.
And it's not just any relationships, is it? Quality over quantity.
That's a huge point from the Harvard study of adult development, which Psych Central mentioned. Deep quality connection, emotional intimacy, support, listening, companionship matter way more than just having lots of acquaintances. Lacking those can really fuel emptiness and loneliness.
Okay, important distinction. Feeling empty isn't always depression, right?
Right. Psych Central is clear on that. Emptiness or numbness can be a symptom of depression, maybe with loss of interest, low motivation, flat.
But it's not automatic.
No, feeling empty doesn't automatically equal depression. You'd need a proper assessment from a mental health professional for a diagnosis.
This is all really helpful for understanding. But what can we actually do? Let's get into practical strategies. Starting with belonging. What did the Leone Center suggest?
They had several concrete ideas, like actively seek out groups or places where you feel you resonate with others.
Be proactive.
Yeah, and challenge those negative inner voices. I don't belong. Our brains tend to grab onto those.
Oh, tell me about it.
And try to be authentic, Don't just mold yourself to fit in. Connect intentionally with people who share your core values.
That makes sense. Okay, what about navigating that existential anxiety? Any tips from Very Well Mind?
They recommend things like journaling, just getting those big thoughts out, talking to trusted friends or family for support and perspective.
And meditation?
Yes, meditation can help manage the negative thought, but a key point they make is that this kind of anxiety is often just part of being human. The goal isn't to eliminate it, but to live with it authentically.
Not just distract yourself or give up.
Exactly. Live with it, not run from it constantly.
And for feelings of emptiness, what does Psych Central suggest?
First off, be kind to yourself. Approach the feeling with gentleness. Allow time and space for any grief or loss.
Give yourself permission.
Right. And set aside time for self-reflection. Journaling can help here too. Maybe use specific prompts to explore what's going on inside.
What else?
Connect with others intentionally. Prioritize self-care consistently. Be mindful of social media traps. And importantly, give yourself credit for how you have coped in the past.
That's a nice one.
And again, they really stress seeking professional help if the feelings are intense, long-lasting, or involve thoughts of self-harm.
Okay. Now, sometimes when you feel anxious or empty, just staying present is hard. Healthline had those grounding techniques, right?
Yeah, the whole toolkit. Grounding helps redirect focus to the now, pulling you away from overwhelming feelings. They group them into physical, mental, and soothing techniques.
Physical ones involve sense.
Exactly. Hands in water, touching something textured, deep breathing, really tasting or smelling something, a short walk, holding ice.
Moving your body, listening.
Yeah, gentle movement, listening intently to sounds, doing a body scan, or that 5-4-3-2-1 method.
Ah, the 5-4-3-2-1. Remind us quickly how that works.
Sure. It's simple. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Really anchors you in the present moment through your senses.
Good. And the mental grounding techniques.
Those use mental distraction, like play memory games in your head, list things in categories, do simple math, recite something familiar.
Try to make yourself laugh.
Yeah.
Use an anchoring statement.
Yeah, repeat a phrase about being safe in the present. Visualize a routine task. Describe activities in detail. Imagine letting go of feelings, or just describe your surroundings.
And the soothing techniques sound soothing.
They are. Focused on comfort and safety. Visualizing loved ones, being kind to yourself and your thoughts, spending time with pets.
Listing favorites. Picturing safe places.
Exactly. Planning nice future activities, holding a comforting object, listing positives about yourself, focusing on music.
How do they work, essentially?
Healthline explains they use senses and mental diversions to interrupt the body's stress response, bring you back to the here and now. They suggest practicing, finding what works for you, and maybe noticing your distress level before and after.
Okay, so we've covered belonging, existential stuff, emptiness, and grounding. What about actively building purpose? Greater Good Science Center and Frontiers had insights there.
Both really stress how vital purpose and meaning are for well-being, health, longevity, even economic success.
Wow, economic success too.
Apparently so. The Greater Good Science Center notes purpose can emerge naturally, but we can also actively cultivate it.
Now, what strategies do they recommend?
They suggest reflecting on what truly matters, maybe using value surveys, identifying your strengths and talents, like with the VIA Character Strengths Survey, and figuring out how to use them for something you care about.
Volunteering comes up again.
Yes, volunteering is key. Using skills for a cause, connecting with like-minded people. Also, cultivating positive emotions like gratitude and awe, and looking to people you admire for inspiration.
And Frontiers. How did they frame meaning?
They emphasized meaning as a powerful internal resource, a motivator key to self-regulation. It boosts psychological and physical health, drives goal, and helps us cope with challenges.
So it helps us keep going.
Definitely. And they connect meaning strongly to community engagement, feeling connected, participating voluntarily.
It sounds like just wanting meaning can push us to connect more.
It seems so. Frontiers found a link between wanting meaning and pro-social acts like volunteering and charity. And yeah, they mentioned potential economic benefits too, predicting gains in income and net worth.
That's fascinating. And meaning helps buffer against big societal stresses.
Yes, like during the pandemic, having a sense of meaning helped reduce anxiety and stress. It's a coping resource.
Now, to make this really concrete, we looked at that Reddit thread, someone sharing their own journey with emptiness and searching.
Yes, a really honest post from someone in their early 20s, despite university, counseling, still feeling empty, lacking passion, questioning the point, really feeling disconnected.
And they posted an update later, didn't they?
Yeah, a couple years later, they acknowledged the feelings hadn't totally gone, but there was more acceptance, an ebb and flow of good and bad days. Still working on it, considering medication.
So not a magic cure, but progress and acceptance.
Exactly. Accepting the struggle might be ongoing, and finding moments of okay within that was a form of progress for them.
It's such a powerful reminder that this stuff is complex, isn't it? The path isn't always straight.
Absolutely. And the community responses on Reddit showed that too, lots of different perspectives, from trying new hobbies to just letting go of expectations. It really grounds the research life.
It does. Shows how universal these struggles are and how many ways people try to navigate them.
Mm-hmm.
So wrapping up this deep dive, it feels like we've touched on some really deeply connected parts of being human.
Absolutely. That fundamental need to belong, the challenge, but also potential growth in existential questions, understanding and managing emptiness, and the huge role of meaning and purpose.
They all weave together, don't they?
They really do, for individual well-being and even for communities.
And the main thing for you listening is that these feelings, however they show up for you, are incredibly common. They're valid.
Yeah. And as we've seen, there are lots of different paths to explore, different ways to seek more clarity, connection, fulfillment.
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Not at all. So maybe as you go about your day, just consider which of these ideas resonated most with you right now.
What's one small thing you can maybe do today?
Yeah, just a small step. Reflecting on values, trying a grounding technique, reaching out to someone, exploring a new interest, something to move towards a little more connection, a little more meaning in your own life.
It's an ongoing journey, after all.
Definitely. And your own insights, your own inner wisdom, that's ultimately the most valuable guide you have.